Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Eamonn Holmes sat by the window of his quiet London flat, a cup of lukewarm tea in hand, watching rain streak down the glass like thoughts he couldn't quite hold on to. The city outside bustled in muted gray, but inside everything had slowed to a hush. A month had passed since the headlines. He and Ruth Langsford, after over a decade of laughter, arguments, morning shows, and quiet cups of tea, had gone their separate ways. The media called it shocking, but life doesn't always end in fireworks. Sometimes it fades like a radio left on in the background, familiar but no longer heard. He hadn't spoken much about it publicly, not really, until now. In an exclusive radio segment recorded quietly on a rainy Thursday afternoon, Eamonn finally opened up, not about the pain, not about Ruth, not even about endings, but about what came next. "There's someone," he said, his voice gruff but soft. "She changed my life, and I didn't see it coming." Listeners leaned in. It wasn't romantic, he clarified, not in the way people think, but it was love, unconditional love. Her name was Daisy, a 5-year-old Labrador with golden eyes and a heart so wide it made the silence in his flat feel a little less heavy. "She came from a rescue shelter," he explained. "I didn't even go there looking for a dog. I was just drifting. And there she was, tail thumping, eyes like she'd been waiting forever just for me." Eamonn chuckled gently into the microphone. "She looked at me like I wasn't broken, like I was still someone worth loving." He paused, letting the hum of the studio settle. "In this business, you get used to wearing masks, TV smiles, polished lines. But Daisy, she doesn't care who I was on telly. She doesn't care about ratings or press or heartbreak. She cares that I'm there at 7 a.m. with her breakfast. She cares that I sit with her by the fireplace when the rain comes down." Eamonn admitted that in the early days after the split, there were nights he couldn't sleep, mornings when the world felt too loud, days when the ache of absence weighed heavier than the cameras ever had. "And every single time," he said, his voice thickening, "there was this soft nose nudging my hand, these paws climbing into my lap, this dog, this beautiful soul, just saying, 'I'm here, no matter what.'" He wasn't naive. He knew people would scoff. "It's just a dog," they'd say. But to him, Daisy was more than fur and tail wags. She was presence. She was stillness. She was healing in a way even time couldn't replicate. "Love isn't always what we think it is," he said. "Sometimes it doesn't come in the form of a partner. Sometimes it comes in the form of loyalty, so deep it breaks you open again, in the best way." He spoke of long walks in Hyde Park, of shared bacon sandwiches on Sunday mornings, of her lying next to him when he read the same paragraph of a book over and over again without ever turning the page. And finally, he said the words he hadn't dared speak until now. "She saved me, in a way no human ever could, in a way I didn't know I needed. I thought I was too old to start again, but Daisy taught me there's always room for new love, especially the kind that asks for nothing in return." As the recording faded to music, Eamonn leaned back in his chair and for the first time in weeks smiled, not for the camera, not for the public, but for himself. And across the room, Daisy wagged her tail. Unconditional, forever.